Happening now, some good news. New Mexico's economy is growing, and that means legislators could have a lot of extra money to spend next year, about $300 million more dollars, as a matter of fact. New projections have the state raking in $6.2 billion. That's more money than it's had since 2008. That would be before the recession, if you're keeping count. State Finance Secretary Tom Clifford credits an improving job market and a boom in the oil and gas industry for this extra cash. The governor's administration is recommending legislators save a big chunk of that new money because federal budget cuts have drained the state's reserves. House Majority Leader Rick Miera tells us that he'd like to see the surplus spent in the classroom.
We need money back in the education budget. We need money in higher education. We need to replace what we took away during those lean years.
I think a lot of parents would agree with him. In a statement, Governor Susana Martinez says she wants the extra money to go to education reform and economic development. Analysts estimate state revenues will grow by, get this, a whopping $900 million in the next 4 years. Well, the economy is showing signs of recovery in downtown Albuquerque, too. Business activity downtown is finally beginning to pick up again. As a matter of fact, 2 new shops are opening up, a jewelry store and a new cafe, and we're told by the experts you can expect this good trend to continue. News 13's David Romero is live in downtown Albuquerque with all the details. Please share this morning, David.
Well, good morning, Matt. And of course, this is a trend that you will expect to see continue. A lot of businesses will be opening up their doors here in downtown. And as you mentioned, one of them is the jewelry shop that's happening today. And of course, this is all part of the initiative from the Downtown Action Team called Pop-Up Retail. Now, officials at the Downtown Action Team came up with the concept to fill up vacant space in the heart of downtown. This is primarily along Gold Avenue. Now, so far, since the start of this year and since the program began, they say the concept is working. Now, that's also the case with the new shop, Stella and Dot, which opens today. It's at 105 Gold Avenue, near First Street. Businesses are moving into these locations for a set amount of time with the hope that they find success and a client base in downtown. Then the goal is to eventually set up a more permanent operation there. And of course, it won't be much longer until downtown Albuquerque sees the permanent opening of a new cafe in the Sims building. The food service industry is another aspect that the Downtown Action Team is hoping people will take advantage of.
It helps also activate the street. When you have vacant spaces, it kind of looks dead, so you have people coming and going, and it activates the street.
And of course, part of that revitalization is not only attracting businesses to the area, they want to attract shoppers to the area. So it's introducing all aspects of everything that's going to help grow the economy and boost it here in downtown Albuquerque. Matt, back to you.
All right, thank you, David. We like it when you share that kind of good news. Now, incidentally, that particular part of Gold Avenue that David was talking about has been a popular spot in the past few years, not only for business, but also for living with those upscale Gold Avenue condos. Also, a number of movies have been shot down there, too. 5:34 now. Of course, gay marriage is a huge developing story here in New Mexico. So far, we found out there had not been any protests surrounding the Doña Ana County Clerk's decision to issue same-sex couples marriage licenses earlier this week, but we have found out the opposition is forming. Yesterday, on day 2 after the decision, things were pretty quiet at the county clerk's office down south. Lynn Ellen says since Wednesday, he's only gotten 1 negative email and phone call about his decision to start issuing marriage licenses to same-sex couples. Other than that, he says the response has been 99% positive. However, State Senator Bill Scherer of Farmington here says a dozen GOP legislators will soon file a lawsuit seeking a court order to stop the Doña Ana County Clerk from doing this because he says it's the legislature's job to make law, not for county clerks. So what about other county clerks in the state? Are they going to start doing this too? Bernalillo's county clerk, Maggie Toulouse Oliver, says she is not issuing marriage licenses to same-sex couples until the courts make a ruling.
I am personally in favor of gay marriage. I look forward to the day that we can issue marriage licenses to same-sex couples here in Bernalillo County. And I want that process to take its course properly.
Valencia County's clerk says she's going to decide her stance on the issue if and when a same-sex couple comes into her office to apply for a marriage license. All other county clerks in the state say, just like Bernalillo County, they're still going to wait on a court ruling. A photographer in Albuquerque who refused to take pictures at a same-sex couple's commitment ceremony has lost her appeal to the state Supreme Court. Back in 2006, Elaine Huguenin, the co-owner of Elaine Photography, turned down a same-sex ceremony and claimed it was because of her Christian beliefs. In a unanimous decision yesterday, the High Court upheld the lower court rulings that her refusing to take these pictures violates New Mexico's Human Rights Act. The justices also rejected arguments that the state law violates the photographer's rights to free speech and free exercise of her religious beliefs. The State Human Rights Commission fined Elaine's photography $7,000 for refusing to take on that job. 1 in 4 Mexican immigrants are shortchanged by their bosses here in New Mexico. That is according to a study by Somos Un Pueblo Unido and UNM professor Andrew Schrank. The report says 29% of all people who are here illegally and 21% of Mexican nationals who are here legally are either underpaid or not paid at all. The study recommends a state step up enforcement of labor laws. Old man is headed to prison now for a brutal and bizarre punishment he dished out to his 2 foster kids. Michael Vargas, this guy, was sentenced to 16 years in prison for tasing the children 24 times with a lot of volts. Prosecutors asked for 24 years, 1 for each burn mark on the kids' stomachs and arms. The case broke in 2010 when the kids told the social worker at their elementary school what was going on. The tasing went on for 2 months. Hope those kids are doing okay. All right, 5:37 right now. World War II veteran in Washington State is dead after he was beaten by a pair of teenagers. God, what is wrong with people? Spokane police say Delbert Shorty Belton here was randomly attacked by 2 young men in the parking lot of a lodge. His head was badly hurt. He died at a hospital yesterday. Now investigators are looking for whoever did such what just amounts to a disgusting thing.
It does appear random. He was in the parking lot. It appears that he was assaulted in the parking lot, and there was no indication of any sort of that he would have known these people prior to the assault.
Our investigators say they don't know what prompted the teens to kill the veteran. It's the second time this month investigators say teens have killed random people. Remember, a week ago, 3 teens in Oklahoma were arrested accused of killing a man because they say they were bored and they wanted to do it, quote, for the fun of it. Now, the friends of Delbert Belton here say he was a hero who was hurt in the battle for Okinawa. He was 88 years old. Well, military jurors have not reached a verdict just yet against a soldier on trial for the shooting rampage at Fort Hood back in 2009. Major Nidal Hassan here is accused of killing 13 people and hurting 30 more at the Army post in Texas. The former Army psychiatrist passed on his final chance to address jurors before they started deliberating yesterday, even after prosecutors called for a verdict that would allow the death penalty. Check KRQE.com for updates on this as we go through the day.